champion Charlotte Flair. Morgan looking to pick up a big win tonight.
Tragedy struck the WWE Universe in the most heartbreaking way when Dominik Mysterio suddenly collapsed during a high-stakes moment on Raw. The arena, once buzzing with excitement and roaring fans, instantly shifted to a chilling silence as Dominik clutched his chest and fell to the mat. Liv Morgan, standing nearby, rushed to his side, her face etched with shock and fear as she pleaded for him to stay with her. This wasn't a scripted moment. It was a real-life crisis unfolding live on television, leaving fans and wrestlers alike stunned and deeply shaken. The race against time medical personnel rushed into the ring with oxygen masks, defibrillators, and emergency equipment. The crowd, which had moments before been buzzing with excitement, was now an uneasy hush filled with whispered prayers and nervous gasps. The atmosphere was heavy, charged with disbelief and hope that something miraculous might happen. Then came the shock. The defibrillator's electric jolt, a jarring sound followed by Liv's scream piercing the silence. She clutched Dominik's limp hand tightly, rocking back and forth as the medics worked feverishly. Commentary teams struggled to maintain composure. Michael Cole's voice cracked as he solemnly addressed viewers. "This is not part of the show. We need your thoughts and prayers right now for Dominik Mysterio." His words hung in the air, heavy and raw. A somber tribute on SmackDown. The very next night, the atmosphere in the arena was thick with grief before the first bell even rang. The giant screen played a slow-motion montage of Rey Mysterio's greatest moments. From his underdog victories in WCW to his emotional World Heavyweight Championship triumphs. The montage ended on a freeze frame of Rey raising his arms in the ring, smiling with a brightness that now seemed painfully out of reach. Backstage, Liv Morgan sat quietly in the locker room, still in street clothes, clutching Rey's iconic mask tightly in both hands. Her eyes were red, not from makeup, but from hours of silent crying. The grief was raw and palpable. A knock at the door interrupted the silence. Liv didn't respond, her body frozen in sorrow. A shocking return and rising tensions. Suddenly, the sound of Dominik Mysterio's entrance theme hit the speakers. The camera cut to the stage, revealing Dominik dressed in all black with a smirk that could cut glass. Behind him stood Rhea Ripley, an ominous presence. Dominik grabbed a mic and coldly addressed the crowd. "I told you all, for years my dad was weak. Now he's gone, and the only thing weaker than him is the people still crying over him." Backstage, Liv's head snapped up, fury replacing her grief. She stormed down the ramp without waiting for her music, clutching Rey's mask like a shield. The crowd erupted, torn between shock and sympathy. Dominik tried to speak over her, but Liv snatched the mic away with steely resolve. "Dominik, listen to me. You don't get to speak his name. You don't get to erase him. And you sure as hell don't get to mock him." The weight of loss. Liv's silent struggle. Later backstage, Liv sat on the cold floor against a wall, wrapped in Rey's old Latino Heat tribute jacket. Her hair was messy, her makeup smudged, and her eyes were red from hours of crying. Kayla Braxton approached cautiously with a mic. "Liv, last week the WWE Universe saw how deeply Rey Mysterio's passing has affected you. Tonight you're scheduled to face Zelina Vega, one of Rey's closest friends. What's going through your mind right now?" Liv slowly looked up, her voice hoarse but controlled. "What's going through my mind, Kayla? Nothing. There's nothing left in there. Rey, he was more than a mentor. He was my anchor, and now he's gone. And you want me to wrestle tonight? You think this is just a match? This is a funeral." Her tone darkened. "Zelina wants to fight? Fine. But understand this. Every single opponent from now on will pay for the fact that Rey isn't here anymore, and I'll make sure they feel the same emptiness I do." The match and rising chaos. The bell rang. Liv started slow, letting Zelina gain some offense. But then something snapped. Liv grabbed Zelina's hair, slamming her face into the mat repeatedly, ignoring the referee's warnings. She executed a brutal oblivion, but didn't go for the pin. Instead, Liv dragged Zelina outside and slammed her into the steel steps. Twice. The referee called for a disqualification, but Liv didn't stop. She grabbed Rey's old chair, engraved with Booyaka, from ringside and raised it high. Dominik's music hit again. He rushed down but hesitated at the apron, conflicted. Liv shouted at him, "You weren't here for him when it mattered. You weren't here for me either. Get out of my sight." Dominik stood frozen as security swarmed in to separate them. Liv screamed, clutching the chair. "I told you. Everyone's gonna pay. Dom, you hear me? SummerSlam. Justice for Ray." A dark future looms. The scene fades to a dimly lit arena. Black and silver ropes replace the usual red for Raw. The Titantron is framed with flowers, displaying a giant portrait of Rey Mysterio smiling beneath his mask. Michael Cole's voice cracks as he announces, "Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we celebrate the life of a legend." The ring is surrounded by WWE superstars dressed in black. Liv Morgan stands at the center in a long black dress, clutching Rey's mask to her chest. Tears roll down her cheeks, her usual confident smirk replaced by a broken, haunted gaze. Into the mic, she says, "He wasn't just a mentor or a friend. Rey saved my career when nobody believed in me. He taught me how to stand, how to fight with honor, how to fly even when my feet were on the ground. And now he's gone because someone decided their ego was worth more than his life. Your one click can help us keep creating awesome stuff.